Sometimes I think the true purpose of my working hard to make money is just so I can finally be left alone. So, my name is Mitski, and this is my dazed guide. T is for tea. I don't drink coffee, but I love tea. I need green tea. Specifically, I start my morning with sencha. I think it's like sencha all the way through until lunch, and then after lunch, I like to have a black tea. You have great black teas here in the UK. It's very exciting. Ooh, G is for ghost stories. So I love ghost stories. I've loved them since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to collect them. And then I would go to my classmates and be like, do you want to hear a ghost story? And they'd be like, no. The one that scared me the most was Toire no Hanako-san, which is, Hanako is a Japanese girl's name. And it's just about the girl in the toilet. It's never explained why there's a girl ghost in the bathroom. And she just haunts the toilet. And it's really scary when you're a kid and you're going to the bathroom alone. And you're just alone in the toilet stall and thinking, there's gonna be a ghost. I used to think like a hand would come out of the toilet bowl and just grab my butt. I don't know what it would do once it grabbed my butt, but I was afraid of the grabbing. M is for music, because that's what I do. I mean, it's cringe, but I love it. My mom used to sing me a lullaby. I'm not gonna sing it for you because that's just for me. So A is for animals. I love animals. I think they're too good for us. I think we humans, even though we're animals, we're that one animal who seem to only know how to destroy. I really think the earth would be better off without us and we should all just disappear. That sounds very violent, but I don't mean it in any like concrete way. I'm not trying to destroy the world. I just think all the animals in the earth would be better off without us, and I think we deserve to go extinct. I is for the internet. As much as often it is the bane of our existence, it also has given us so much. It's connected us to other worlds that we never had access to before. I remember the internet dial-up tone. It goes da 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 da. So I'm not on social media. I have my manager run my social media accounts, and it's great for my brain. My friends keep sending me ways that my song Nobody has been used in like TikTok, and TikTok is just, I mean, it's been very good to me. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but people have continued to use my songs on TikTok, and thank you, TikTok. Thank you, teenagers. I'm 31 years old now, and I guess I'm just a clueless millennial, because sometimes, I mean, I really, really appreciate your use of my music, but like, I don't understand why there was a trend of like people running away from the camera while my song Nobody is playing. I don't understand what everyone's running away from. I don't think the song is that scary. L is for Lost Worlds. I don't know why, but I'm just obsessed with like concepts of lost worlds. Like a lot of Hayao Miyazaki films are about like lost worlds or post-apocalyptic dystopian worlds, but especially Castle in the Sky. I just love Castle in the Sky because I love even just the idea of there being a floating island up there that's deserted and has a history that we don't know about. Or like, I love the idea of Atlantis. I don't believe it exists, but every time some person or researcher is like, we have found the real Atlantis, my heart gets excited a little bit. So, yeah. My first Miyazaki film was Princess Mononoke. Yeah, and we had a VHS of it. And we had to get another one because one day I opened it up and ants had made a nest inside of it. the last thing I can remember consuming is actually the Miyazaki comic books of Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind, which is interesting because the ending is really just completely different in the comic books. In the movie, it's this hopeful kind of like Messiah sort of ending. In the comic books, the ending is really nihilistic, and it basically posits something I believe in, which I said before, which is maybe humans should not exist. You know, there are a lot of Miyazaki characters I wish I could be. Like, I wish I could be San from Princess Mononoke. I wish I could be Nausicaa of Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind. I wish I could be all those heroic characters, but I think realistically I would be No Face. Yes, B is for buildings. I turned 30 years old and suddenly I cared about the buildings around me. I don't know what it was. Like, I lived most of my life in this like tunnel vision bubble where I really was only looking at my feet. And then I became a real adult and looked around and started to appreciate architecture. And I mean, I don't know anything about architecture, but I appreciate buildings. I love the history of buildings. Yeah, I'm interested in buildings. I'm also interested in haunted houses because I love ghost stories. Well, my favorite story of a haunted house is Shirley Jackson's Haunting of Hill House. I think that's my favorite book of all time. It's just, I can't imagine being such a good writer. I was in Albany, New York to shoot my music video for Working for the Knife. And there was this beautiful stone mansion next to my hotel that just stopped me in my tracks. I didn't know anything about it. I stopped in front of it, looked at it, and I just stood in the street staring at it. And I was like, I want to live in that house. I want to be in that house. I want to be in that house. And then I looked it up, and sure enough, it was like top 10 most haunted buildings in the United States. So I think it was pulling me in. Q is for quiet. Q is for quiet. I love quiet. I wish it were quiet all the time. You know, you'd wear earplugs at a show, and sometimes I would wish I could just keep my earplugs in and live my life with earplugs in. Adjacent to my love of quiet is just my love of alone time. I'm an introvert, you know. After this, with all due respect, I'm gonna go to my Airbnb and just stare at a wall. Sometimes I think the true purpose of my working hard to make money is just so I can finally be left alone. Because, you know, when you don't have money, you don't get a lot of alone time. I think I've gotten to know my limit of how many things I can do in a day before my brain stops working. So I set aside time for myself to just sit and do nothing in a place alone. And that really helps me continue to be a pleasant person. S is for shoes. My mom always told me it's so important to have a comfortable shoe because going through your day in an uncomfortable shoe just ruins your day. I think it's so important to have, you know, a durable, well-made shoe that's comfortable to walk around in. It just like truly makes or breaks your day. So I'm not talking, when I say shoes, you know, I'm not talking about Sex and the City stilettos. I'm talking about like, it's really important to have a good shoe. D is for dessert. I love dessert. I love sugar. You can tell me all you want how much sugar is bad for you. I don't care. It makes me happy. Especially creme brulee where it's like the top is this thin, crackly that you just like put a spoon on it and it goes. Ah. I think you should be allowed to have beautiful, wonderful, tasty desserts.